We purchased Angelo J Fra at the Harrisburg sale in November 2 years ago, kind of on the whim that my owner had purchased his weanling brother, and I was looking for a colt up there, and I said, what about this colt? He's a Ponderosa. He's actually the only Ponderosa in the sale. I said, yeah, let's take a shot on him. So we ended up buying him for $15,000. Kind of a growthy, immature type colt that, looked like he might make a nice racehorse. The owners on Angelo, my partners, is Megan Rogers Racing from Chicago, and Megan's husband, Brian, Dr. Brian Ogan. He's a doctor in Chicago, and so I picked him up as an owner a few years ago, and he's been a real good owner for me and had some nice horses for him. And it's kind of special to get a horse because he does like to buy the young ones and stake them. It's kind of special to get a horse that we can at least get in a race like this. Angelo J Fra started out this year in racing in the late closers here at the Meadows. We had kind of wanted to be in the earlier one, but he had a little sickness issues earlier, so we didn't quite get to those. And when he started racing, he didn't have a lot of gate speed, and he actually was a favorite in the first series final, but of course was setting in the back of the pack and couldn't reach. But as the years went on, he's improved, and actually coming into the Adios, we were able to leave him to start before, and that was his best race he went, which is really what made us decide to put him in. The late closers at the Meadows are a great springboard for a lot of young green horses because you can remember last year 2 horses, Cam Mikey and then the horse I had, Mad American, both raced in there and battled each other, and they turned out to be real nice horses. So you can use that, like we did with Angelo this year, to get the experience and kind of race your own kind to develop into a more solid horse. I use Tony Hall a lot driving if I can. I mean, he's real good with horses, nice with young horses, and picked him for Angelo because I thought he fit the horse well, and luckily he's stayed with him all year. And he knows the horse to a T. I mean, any little quirks that he has, Tony knows them, and he's got a lot of confidence in the horse because he said that he's always digging at the end. When we entered in the Adios, we knew that the field wasn't going to have the top horses in there, so that was our reason to put in. We drew a division that was, on paper, probably the easiest of the 3, so we thought we had a shot. Angelo's forte for his sake is usually finishing, and they did race pretty good on the front end, and Tony was able to get him out in the last turn and get him a chance to stretch it out in the stretch, and luckily he passed enough to get the second. When I watched the post position draw the other day, of course his name was pulled first out of the box, and 8 showed up. You never like the 8 hole, especially here, but of all things, I don't know if there was a position that I would have drawn that I would have had any more comfort than the 8 hole, because my horse, unfortunately to say, is a come from behind type horse, so he's going to be coming from behind no matter if he had the 2 hole, 5 hole, 8 hole. So we're just happy to be in it and hope that he races the race of his year. I feel real lucky because Adios Day is a special part of my life, and that for the last 35 years we've had a party. My family comes up from Ohio, the family from my wife's here, all my friends. We really make it a special day, and the goal has always been to get an Adios horse. Luckily, this is the 3rd year in a row that I was able to put a horse in the Adios, and this year is the first year we ever made the final, so it is special. And I'm sure during the post parade, when Angelo goes around the turn and the people up on the hill at our party see him down there, it's going to give me goosebumps, even though I won't get to be there. But I'm sure my father and the rest of my family, and I told Tony, when you get that cheer when you're going around that turn down there below our tent, just enjoy it and appreciate the moment. Working with my father, Dwayne, for my whole life, we strived and strive to get better horses through buying the young horses, and we were lucky when he was still actively training to have With Anticipation racing the Adios, but we didn't get to the final. It's still special for him. I mean, he's retired now, but he's going to be setting them up on the hill, and I know he's going to be proud, and the horse will do good no matter what, and we're just going to enjoy it.